Imagine standing at the edge of a difficult moment in your life, and instead of reacting with fear, anger, or frustration, you meet it with calm, clarity, and strength. Right now, in this very moment, you already have the power to do exactly that. It's not something outside of you, not something you need to buy or chase. It's already there, waiting for you to use it. This is the core of Stoicism, learning to face life's challenges, not with panic, but with presence. Think back to the last time you felt overwhelmed. Maybe someone said something that got under your skin, or life simply threw something at you that you didn't expect. In that moment, did you act out of impulse, or did you pause long enough to respond in a way that actually reflected who you are and what you believe in? That's what Stoicism helps us cultivate, the strength to choose our response, even when everything around us is pulling us toward reaction. What we're talking about here is not just emotional control, it's a deeper kind of discipline. It's about training your mind to become steady in chaos. The Stoics believed that while we can't always control what happens to us, we always control what we do with it. That small space between stimulus and response is where your power lives, and most people never use it. So much of our stress and regret comes from reacting without thinking. We snap back, we judge, But what if you could meet those same moments with intention instead of instinct? What if you could respond with patience, with reason, with awareness rather than letting emotion take the wheel? This isn't about suppressing how you feel. Stoicism doesn't teach you to become numb. It teaches you to understand your emotions without letting them rule you, and that makes you stronger, not colder. Imagine going through life with a mind that stays calm, even when things around you fall apart. That's not fantasy, that's practice. In this video, we'll explore how to develop that kind of mindset. We'll look at what both ancient Stoics and modern psychology say about responding with awareness, not reaction. You'll learn how to stay grounded in the present, how to see situations clearly, and how to choose your response with wisdom instead of impulse. These aren't abstract ideas, they're practical skills, and when you use them, your life changes. Not just how you feel inside, but how you move through the world and how others respond to you. This is the beginning of building something strong within you, not just peace but power, and not the kind of power that comes from control over others, but the kind that comes from control over yourself. That's the Stoic path. That's how you build your own inner empire. Most people go through life reacting on impulse, driven by whatever emotion hits them in the moment. It's automatic, and it feels natural, but it often does more harm than good. Quick reactions can turn a small issue into a bigger conflict, damage relationships, or lead to decisions we later wish we hadn't made. This is exactly the kind of human behavior the Stoics learned to challenge. The Stoic approach was simple but powerful. Live according to nature, guided by reason. That meant looking closely at each impulse, each emotional urge, and asking, does this serve virtue? Is this the right thing to do, or just a fast reaction? By following reason, they believed we could live with integrity and focus on what really matters. Choosing to respond instead of react means you don't rush. When something difficult happens, you pause, not just to look at what's happening outside of you, but also to check what's happening inside. That pause gives you the chance to choose. Instead of going with your first emotional wave, you act with intention based on your values, not your moods. This doesn't mean you ignore or bottle up your emotions. A Stoic sees emotion clearly, understands where it comes from, and then decides, should I act on this or let it pass? That's not suppression, it's strength, it's clarity, and it protects your peace. Responding instead of reacting doesn't just help you stay calm, it affects everything around you. It makes your conversations deeper. It improves how you lead, how you work with others, and how you deal with pressure. When you respond with thought, not reflex, you show that you're in control, and people feel that. They trust it, they respect it. So how do you build that kind of mindset? It's not enough to want it. You need to train for it, like the Stoics did. It takes practice, deliberate, focused effort, but the tools are here, and they still work today. Let's start with self-awareness. This is one of the core foundations of Stoic practice. The Stoics taught that you should always be looking inward, watching your own thoughts, tracking your motivations. When you know what's going on in your own mind, it becomes much easier to manage it. The moment you start noticing your inner reactions, you unlock a kind of space between how you feel and how you act. That space is your power. Recognizing that you're about to get angry, frustrated, anxious, that's the beginning of freedom. From there, you can do something different. That leads us to another key habit, the pause. It sounds small, but it's everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote about it often, the space between stimulus and response. That's where choice lives. The pause might be just a breath, a moment of reflection, or a quick grounding thought, but it's enough. In that pause, you remember who you are. You reconnect to what matters. You ask, what would a wise person do right now? And then you act. Another powerful technique is reframing, changing how you see a situation so you can handle it better. The Stoics used this to stay calm even in chaos. Instead of letting their emotions control the story, they told it differently. Not in a fake way, but in a clearer one. Let's say you're under pressure at work. Most people feel attacked or stressed, but a Stoic might see it as a test, a chance to grow, to show discipline, to lead by example. Reframing isn't about pretending things are fine. It's about shifting your lens so that you can meet challenges with strength instead of fear. When we learn to change the way we interpret things, we also change how we feel about them and what we do next. This shift opens new ways to respond, even in difficult moments. It's one of the simplest but most powerful tools the Stoics used. They also taught us to focus on what we can control and to let go of the rest. That principle remains just as relevant today. Instead of wasting energy on things we can't influence, we redirect our focus toward our own thoughts, actions, and decisions, the parts of life that truly belong to us. Now, this doesn't mean we become passive or stop caring. It means we become smarter about where we place our attention. True strength comes from knowing where your influence begins and ends and choosing to act where it actually matters. That's the mindset the Stoics lived by, and it wasn't just a belief, it was a practice. A key part of that practice was daily reflection. The Stoics made time to look inward every day, to review their choices, track their progress, and confront their weaknesses honestly. You can do the same. At the end of each day, you can take a few moments to ask yourself, where did I act with wisdom? Where did I lose control? What can I learn from today? That habit helps you grow not through guilt, but through clarity. Over time, this consistent self-check creates a mind that's trained to pause, to think, and to act with purpose. It's how we build not only resilience, but wisdom. Another powerful tool you can use is mindfulness. At its core, mindfulness is simply the skill of paying attention. It means noticing what's happening inside you and around you, without judgment and without distraction. When you practice that kind of presence, you begin to see things more clearly, just like the Stoics intended. One of the most practical ways to build mindfulness is through breathing. Just sit quietly and focus on each breath, following the air in and out. Your thoughts will wander. That's normal. The key is to notice that and gently return your focus. This isn't just a way to relax. It's mental training. It sharpens your ability to concentrate, to stay present, and to regain control when your mind tries to pull you away. You can also bring mindfulness into everyday tasks. Washing dishes, walking, eating, even the most ordinary activities can become exercises in attention if you approach them with intention. Notice each movement, each sound, each small detail. This builds your focus muscle so when challenges come, you're more stable and more alert. Another technique is the body scan. It involves slowly bringing your awareness through each part of your body, noticing any tension or emotion you might be holding. The Stoics believed that we should acknowledge the body but not be ruled by it. This practice helps you do exactly that, to become aware of your physical state without letting it cloud your mind. Mindfulness also transforms how we relate to others. When you're present in a conversation, fully listening, not just waiting to speak, build real connection. You respond with empathy instead of assumption, and you give people the space to feel seen and understood. That's a Stoic form of compassion, recognizing that others, like you, are doing their best to navigate life with the tools they have. Bringing all of these practices together, awareness, breathing, reflection, and presence, you start to walk the same path the Stoics did, a path of clear thinking, quiet strength, calm action. You don't just survive chaos, you shape how you meet it. That's what it means to live a Stoic-inspired life, to respond, not react, to live with reason, not noise, and to lead from the inside out. Let's now bring our focus to something practical, applying what we've learned. This path shifting from reaction to response isn't about shutting down emotions or pretending to be untouched by life. It's about learning to move through life with more intention and clarity. It's about showing up with purpose, in line with the Stoic idea of living according to reason. To truly live this way, we need habits that help us embody it. Picture a stressful moment, a disagreement, a problem at work, a sudden setback. The instinct might be to snap back, shut down, or spiral emotionally. But this is the exact moment where Stoic practice steps in. We pause, breathe, and ask a simple question. What would reason say right now? This isn't about silencing how we feel. It's about giving those feelings space but not the steering wheel. We don't suppress emotion, we examine it. We trace it to its root. We look it in the eye, and we choose how we respond. The goal isn't emotional numbness, it's clarity. It's choosing actions that reflect who we are, not just how we feel in that moment. Maybe that means stepping away before answering a heated message. Maybe it means asking yourself what's really bothering you before saying something you'll regret. In each case, you're exercising strength not by reacting fast, but by acting wisely. Each time you do that, you reinforce a new default, one built on thoughtfulness, not impulse. To deepen this, bring it into your daily rhythm. Start your morning by reminding yourself of what kind of person you want to be. Reflect on your values. Set the tone for how you want to show up. Journaling can help too, writing down how you responded to life that day. What worked, what didn't, what can improve tomorrow. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice you make repeatedly. The Stoics knew this, which is why they practiced constant self-reflection and adjustment. You can do the same. Each day is another opportunity to refine your mindset, improve your responses, and live closer to your values. By walking this path, you're doing more than managing emotions or avoiding regret. You're building a life rooted in intention. You're honoring the Stoic pursuit of virtue of living with courage, with wisdom, and with clarity. This shift, from reacting to responding, doesn't just change what's on the surface, it transforms how you engage with life. It opens space between you and the world, space where choices live, where power lives. The Stoics walked this path long before us. They did it with discipline and commitment, and with their wisdom as our guide, we can do the same, facing today's world with a calm mind and a steady heart. But this is more than a mental technique. It's a way of living, one that brings Stoicism into everything we do. It's about focusing on what's in our control, acting with principle, seeing each day as a chance to practice the virtues, courage, justice, self-restraint, wisdom. Each challenge becomes a moment to live those ideals, not just talk about them. Whether it says something small like traffic, or a rude comment, or something big like failure or loss, you now have tools to meet it well. And that matters, because the way we respond shapes our lives and the lives of those around us. The more we respond with clarity and strength, the more peace we create in our minds, our homes, and our world. The truth is, this practice never ends. It's not a switch you flip, it's a path you walk. And like the Stoics before us, we walk it step by step, adjusting as we go. Not perfectly, but with purpose. As we close this session, remember this: every moment gives you a choice. You can react, or you can respond. You can be pulled by chaos, or grounded by clarity. That choice builds your character. That choice is your empire. So as you continue your own journey, keep practicing, keep reflecting, keep building from the inside out. Thank you for being here, for choosing presence over impulse, for choosing the Stoic way. If you're ready to go deeper, you'll find more videos on your screen now, each one designed to help you live with wisdom, peace, and power. Welcome to the Stoic Empire. Let's keep building it together. You stayed with me through this journey. You didn't skip ahead. You didn't run. You listened. You paused. That alone tells me one thing. You're not like most people. Most people react. They let the world shape them. They chase noise. They search for meaning in things they can't control. But you came here to think, to slow down, to breathe. And that means you're ready for more. This wasn't just a video. It was a moment. A space carved out of the noise. A reminder that deep inside you, there is something unshakable. Not a performance, not a mask, but your core, your reason, your stillness. What the Stoics called the ruling faculty, the empire within. We live in a world of overreaction, a world of endless opinions, infinite distractions, constant pressure to be louder, faster, more. But the truth is, real strength doesn't shout. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't panic. Real strength responds. It listens first. It thinks clearly. And it acts from principle. That's what you've been practicing here. maybe for the first time, or maybe it's something you've been building in silence for years. Either way, it matters. The Stoics believed that the true battle is always internal, not in the streets, not in the courtroom, not in the crowd, but in the mind. That moment when you want to speak but choose silence, that urge to judge and the choice not to, that temptation to react but the strength to wait, those small decisions, that's your character being built. That's the empire rising. Let me ask you now, who do you want to be when no one's watching? How do you want to show up in moments that test you? Do you want to reflect the chaos around you, or stand as something solid within it? These aren't rhetorical questions. They're the most important ones you'll ever ask. And not just once, but every day. Because life will test you, again and again. Not with grand battles, but with the little moments. A rude email, a traffic jam, a missed opportunity, a breakup, a loss, an insult. How you meet those moments is who you become. So let this be the moment where your training begins. From now on, when life rushes at you, you breathe. When others explode, you stay still. When your ego wants revenge, you choose restraint. When fear whispers lies, you stay with truth. That's what it means to live stoically. Not to suppress emotion, but to honor it without being ruled by it. Not to run from pain, but to walk through it with open eyes. Not to need control, but to control what truly belongs to you. Your thoughts, your choices, your response. And now, as we bring this session to a close, I want you to know something important. You are not alone. There are others walking this path with you, quietly, deliberately, choosing peace over panic, discipline over drama, virtue over ego. That's what Stoic Empire is. Not a channel, not a brand, but a space. A space for people who've had enough of chaos. A place for those ready to live with clarity, not confusion, with courage, not comfort, with purpose, not panic. So if this message reached you, if something in these words made you pause, if it reminded you of something you already knew, but maybe forgot for a while, then stay. Don't just watch, practice. Let these ideas become action. Let these pauses become your rhythm. Let your response become your identity. And if you're ready to go deeper, there's more here. Videos, insights, tools, not to overwhelm you, but to walk with you. This isn't motivation, it's remembrance, not hype, but clarity, because you already know what to do. You just need the space to remember. Now, before we part ways, I'll leave you with this. Life will keep moving. The world will stay loud. You'll forget all this, again and again. That's okay. But every time you remember, you come back stronger. So subscribe, not for the algorithm, but as a signal to yourself. A small commitment to this path. A quiet declaration. I don't chase peace, I build it. One breath, one thought, one decision at a time. This is Stoic Empire, and you are part of it. Now go, live the words. Let your responses write your legacy. We'll be here when you return.